Hey, what's up guys? Jack and Matt here with ToastyDIY, and today we're answering a question that we get quite a bit because honestly being a YouTuber is probably one of the coolest jobs ever, and a lot of kids especially want to be a YouTuber when they grow up. So what exactly do you need to make in order to be a full-time YouTuber?
So what we're going to do is go over some numbers based on annual average salaries for somebody to have a comfortable life or just be able to live life and do YouTube full-time, because a few years ago we made this jump and really had to calculate this stuff in our heads, and it's something you need to keep in mind before you fully dive into the YouTube space. As of recording this video, the average salary in the US is $35,000 to $50,000. It does vary depending on where you live. We are just based on the United States because we're here in the United States, so your country may vary in terms of salary, but for us, $35,000 to $50,000 per year is the average salary.
So now we're just going to give you guys some actual stats that are pulled from ToastyBros and ToastyDIY. I know a lot of people have asked us about ToastyBros before, so to give you guys an idea, we basically compared how much money was made for 1 million views, give or take. So for example, for DIY, for 1,021,400 views, that got us $6,049 before taxes or anything else. Now ToastyBros, for a little bit more actually, 1,052,769 views, that got us $4,994 because there's some slightly different CPMs. So for ToastyDIY it was 11.05 cents per million, and then for ToastyBros it was 10.79. Now, one big thing to keep in mind though is for DIY, for those 1 million views, it took us 365 days because it's a much smaller channel. For ToastyBros, that was only 18 days. So to give you guys an idea, we were talking about the whole $35,000 to $50,000. For DIY to make $30,000 and $24, it would take 5 years if we keep going at the exact same rate. Obviously, Matt and I hope the channel grows. But then for ToastyBros, it would only take you 90 days to get that 32K, which sounds pretty crazy.
Now this isn't like direct financial advice, so take all this with a grain of salt. This is just our experience. Contact a financial advisor if you want to have very specific financial planning. But when it comes to how much money you should save and how much you may pay in taxes on something like $30,000 a year as a sole proprietor, self-employed person, you're going to be looking at 15.3% to start out, and then you are going to want to save your money, because once you start making more money, you're going to have to end up paying more taxes in the long run. It's recommended to save about 30% of the money that comes in. So if we're considering that 15% number and you make $42,000, your after-tax earnings would be about $35,574. But if you are going to dump up to like the 30% with all the business taxes, having an LLC and all the other business stuff you have to pay for that, you are going to be looking at about $29,400 after all taxes, which is definitely a big cut. And taxes are a thing that not a lot of creators think about, because they think about their day-to-day job where they have taxes automatically taken out of their paycheck and they know how much they're getting in each month. With a LLC or sole proprietor, you're going to have to make quarterly payments, or you are going to just have to pay at the end of the year a big lump sum when you normally might be getting a refund from your business that you work for. So that's something to keep in mind. Taxes really do impact your ability to go full-time.
Now another thing I did was I basically just went through, and if you're going to be a YouTuber full-time and you're not, under the age of 18, then you're probably wondering about apartment or house living or condo living. Also, you more than likely have transportation. So if you have a car, you may have a car payment. You obviously have to have car insurance in the US. Other countries may vary, but we're just putting only those factors into play. We're not even counting going out to eat with your friends. We're not even counting food, which you do need to live. So unless you're getting free food, yeah, you get the idea. So basically, the average house/apartment payment in the US as of 2022 is $1,100 per month. That's with taxes and fees typically. That can go way up or way down depending on your living situation. Now the average car payment in the US, believe it or not, is $500 when you kind of take the new car versus used car. The new car is even more than that. You're looking at $600 to $700 per month. Used car, you're looking at around $400, so we just kind of met in the middle at $500. And then the average car insurance in the US is $138 a month. So all that together ends up being about $1,738, as Freddie Wong once said. And so that leaves you with $712. That is manageable. I mean, $712 to put towards a little bit of eating out, a little bit of fun and entertainment, going to the movies with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, and then obviously getting yourself food. $712 for most people is probably pretty manageable, but you gotta remember there's a lot of other fees you're not thinking about. You got Spotify, you got Amazon Prime, you know, do you pay for any type of premium service, which almost everybody pays for something, even magazines and mail, getting your trash collected and recycling. There's just so many things that come into play that $712 sounds like a lot, but that can go really quick.
And it also depends on where you live. Here in the US, you live on the West Coast, $712 is not going to get you nearly as far as it would based where we are in Louisville, Kentucky, or in the Midwest or something like that. So the location where you live is a big factor as well. If you're making the same amount of money, you might want to relocate. I mean, it depends how passionate you are about doing YouTube. If you're on the West Coast and it's very expensive, maybe you want to take this dream full time. I know there's a lot of opportunities out there, but maybe you want to live in an area with a lower cost of living because you can do everything online. As long as you have internet access and the ability to film content, you have the ability to make money. So that's another variable you need to consider.
So one of the last things we're going to look at, and this is what Matt will touch on, is where exactly do most YouTubers get most of their money from besides ad revenue? Because if you have noticed, you'll look at many other channels, they have all kinds of different ways that they make their money. We do as well, because obviously we got a 7,000 square foot space here. We also have a total of 10 employees, including ourselves, because we're technically employees for our own business. That's a lot of money. And the ad revenue alone, although I know I said the number earlier, I'm like, oh, ToastyBros can make $32K in around 90 days, I believe it was. That is not even nearly enough. That might support, you know, 1 or 2 people with the actual LLC and operating fees with pretty much no space. So to give you guys an idea, there's a lot more money that goes into doing something more larger scale, like Linus Tech Tips level or any of the other big YouTubers. They're more than likely not working out of their parents' basement.
But if you're somebody who just wants to run your own show, and you may not think you want to add somebody later on, but trust me, the more YouTube stuff you do, the more you may consider hiring an editor or somebody to do your graphic design or things like that. But if you're somebody who wants to consistently do everything on your own, yes, technically you can live off of YouTube ad revenue, but in this business, like, we really don't consider YouTube ad revenue to be a significant amount of how we pay our bills. Everything else is what works for us. So as a starting channel, when you're smaller, ad revenue is probably your only opportunity. But as you grow, you can do things like brand deals with companies, whether it's a pre-roll deal, a sponsored deal, whether it's social media posts, you build up other social media platforms. You could charge flat fees for that stuff, and in our case, that far surpasses the amount of money coming in compared to YouTube ad revenue. Sometimes 2 to 3 times what we make on YouTube ad revenue, we do from brand deals. So we're sustaining ourselves in ways that are not reliant fully on how many views we're gonna get, which sometimes you can't control, and how many like CPMs that you're gonna get on your video. And a couple other things that are not brand deals that you can make money off of would be selling a product or service based around your niche. Let's say you run an automotive YouTube channel and you have some sort of part that you can sell and make yourself, then you have free advertising on YouTube. Or let's say you're an actual mechanic and run a mechanic shop, then you can make ad revenue from that and bring in new customers potentially to your business, while be it you are stretching your advertising across the world instead of narrowing down to one location. You may do something that's very unique compared to other mechanics in the space. You could bring people to your location. That's all stuff you can do as a newer channel. You just need one video to really go viral, or a couple videos to do very well to really get your name out there and sell some products. But if you're a slightly larger channel, I would probably say you're looking at 10,000 subscribers or above. You're getting to that medium level channel range. Some people may say it's still lower, but I would pretty much argue in terms of money making power, it's in the medium level range. 10,000 subscribers up, you can start doing affiliate services. So Amazon affiliate, Newegg affiliate. There's a bunch of different affiliate services out there for your niche. Again, with the automotive thing, you could sell auto parts, use Amazon affiliate links and get people's affiliate commission. And each of these affiliate commission services have different tiers. And you could maybe get a couple thousand views and maybe get a sale or two and get a couple $100 a month from affiliate services to add to the money you're making. It can be really well done, especially if you make videos dedicated to certain products that you want to showcase, whether it's a review channel or a roundup channel or anything like that. Now, merchandise is something that I think is really overrated for creators, especially smaller and medium-sized creators. Unless you have an audience that is very interested in your brand and wants to buy specific stuff from you, which can be very hard to achieve. We've even experienced this ourselves. They really like the content we make about budget PCs, but they want to buy directly from us for things unless it's a budget PC, like our PC selling business, PC Bros. If you have merchandise or anything like that, you might have trouble selling it to your audience, and it's really only important for the big celebrity, big channels that could just be like Logan Paul or You got basically all the Paul brothers and everything. They make all their money from this merchandising. Linus Tech Tips does a really good job with their LTT store because it's all Linus branded stuff. But they're Good Mythical Morning. They're all massive channels that have a celebrity brand name around them, and they can make their money from merch. It's much harder to do that as a medium to even smaller channel.
So in recap, pretty much being a YouTuber and actually making it full-time is a lot harder than most people think. Now, being a small channel, and especially when you're, I would say 15, 16, 17 years old and making a few $100 from YouTube per month is absolutely awesome, because most of the time those people probably aren't even counting it towards their taxes, and they're just like, oh, look, cool, it's like free money, it's extra. But once you become a grown person, you become an adult, the IRS will come after you if you're not paying taxes. So that is something to really keep in mind, especially once you start making more than a few $100 a month. You're making maybe even like $1,000 a month or something a little bit more crazy like that. That is a lot of opportunity to make a ton of money, but it's also a lot of opportunity to lose quite a bit of money from that 30% that you need to save, and you'll more than likely have to spend each quarter or at the end of the year for taxes. And that's not even counting all the other expenses. I mean, people take you more seriously when you have a space. I mean, we've been having an actual set background for the last 3 or 4 years now for our YouTube channel, and our actual money and views skyrocketed. Once we started to take YouTube serious, people took us more serious, because you kind of get like a Linus Tech Tips level-esque right there. So obviously, if you take a lot of your money and reinvest it in the business, you can make a lot more money, but that also means a lot less money in your pocket, because yeah, Matt and I make very good money with the YouTube channel, but in terms of what we really take home, you know, it is not even a 10% of that. So yeah, it's one of those things where there's a lot of money in it, but if you really want to grow your channel and your brand, you really have to reinvest.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like down below and comment what you think about being a YouTuber full-time, and if you have made the jump before or you're contemplating it. And if you have any specific questions, comment down below. We'll try to reply to the ones that we see that we can actually help you out with. And yeah, be sure to subscribe to ToastyDIY for future videos. See you guys.